the time I gave a TED Talk. So it's always been a dream of mine to give a TED Talk. I'm sure most of you in the room know what a TED Talk is or have seen them on YouTube or online. And I'm going to really quickly distinguish between a TED Talk and a TEDx talk. So a TED Talk it happens twice a year. It's a conference that takes place where different thought leaders are invited to speak on several different topics. Usually it'll be New York Times bestselling authors, CEOs, anybody is invited to speak at a TED Talk. The tickets, I believe, run about $10,000, so it's a pretty exclusive event. And then there's TEDx events. So TEDx are independently organized TED Talks. So universities, typically high schools, and communities can host a TED Talk, a TEDx talk, if they have a license. So the university that I was teaching at sent an email out to all the professors saying that they were looking for professors to give a TEDx talk. So I got really excited because it's always been my dream, like I said, to give a TED Talk. It was on something called discourse ethics, which I had no idea what that even was, but I really wanted to do a TED Talk, so I submitted a proposal and I emailed it to the necessary parties, and I got rejected. So I was really upset, but I was not deterred because it had always been my dream. So I said, I will give a TED Talk. At some point in my life, I'm going to give a TED Talk. So, and I'm going to use the term TED and TEDx interchangeably, but I'm referring to a TEDx talk. So about 4 months later, I was online and I was looking at different TEDx events that were going to be taking place. And if you go to the TED.com website, you can see different TED events, TEDx events that are taking place, whether it's at a high school or a university. And I saw that the university I had just graduated from was hosting their very first TEDx event. So I found the organizer on LinkedIn and I sent her a message, and this was in September of 2017. I sent her a message, I explained that I was an alumni and all of this, and I got no response. And at the very end of November of 2017, I get a response from her. And she says, if you would like to submit a proposal, submit a 5-minute video on your topic to this email address and fill out this form. So I got really excited. The next day I did everything and I emailed it to the email that she sent me. And about a week later, I received an email saying, congratulations, you've been selected to do a TEDx talk. So I was super excited. The best way to describe my excitement was that feeling when you are at a restaurant, you're super hungry and your food comes out. That's exactly how I felt. I just felt super excited. Words could not really explain how I felt. So then I started preparing. I had about 2 weeks from the email that was sent out saying I had been selected to prepare a talk. So I prepared a PowerPoint to go along with my talk, and I had this whole outfit chosen out. It was a red dress, it's fire engine red, long sleeved, because at the time, this was December of 2017 and it was freezing. It was a long red dress with the collar and it went down to my ankles, and I decided to pair it with these same bright fire engine red shoes. They were wedges, so for the women out in the audience who've ever worn wedges, they're very comfortable but still sort of look stylish. And I had these glasses that sometimes I wear they're fake glasses, but they make me feel like I'm smarter. I don't actually wear glasses, but everyone in my family does, and I always felt like it would make me look smarter if I had them. So I wore these glasses with them, and I got ready for my talk. I drove down to the event, and when I got there, I was excited. They had free food for the speakers, and they had coffee. So I just drank a bunch of coffee. I was pretty wired, super excited. And then it came my time to give my speech. And all of a sudden, I just felt super nervous. Like my heart started beating really, really fast. I wasn't nervous leading up to the speech, but for some reason, when I got up there, my heart was beating. My heart was beating. My palms were super duper sweaty. And there was a clicker that I was supposed to be holding that went along with my PowerPoint. So I was like, am I going to drop the clicker? What's going to happen? How, I was just super duper nervous. And my toes were even sweaty. That's how nervous I was. And I just thought of all of the things that could go wrong with my speech. But I pushed past the anxiety and the nervousness that I felt, and I gave my speech. The first 2 minutes of my speech, I was actually in complete darkness. I had not been to the prep meeting that they gave for the speakers, and apparently you're not supposed to stand in the middle of the stage. And when I watch TED Talks, I see people in the middle of the stage, so I thought that's what was supposed to happen. Apparently I was wrong. The lighting was only at the corner of the stage, so the organizer actually came down and started moving her fingers to motion to me to move over into the light. So if any of you guys find my TED Talk online, you'll see the first 2 minutes are in complete darkness. So I was actually really sad and upset because I didn't think that they would post it on their YouTube page, but they did. So I gave the speech, and they had a timer and somebody showing me the time, and I was super excited because I was able to practice everything that I had learned in my Toastmasters meeting. After I gave the speech, I got off stage, and even though the first 2 minutes were in the dark, I was just excited that I was able to accomplish a long time goal of mine. So the two things that this experience taught me was to, first of all, never give up. Because if I had let that first experience with getting rejected deter me, I would have never been able to have the opportunity to give a TEDx talk. And the second thing is, when it comes to trying to achieve your goals, it's really important to be proactive, because if I hadn't sent out a LinkedIn message to the organizer, I probably wouldn't have gotten an opportunity to do a TEDx talk. So that's what that experience taught me. Thank you, guys.